Puma drip on me, but I don't do no running. My swag is magnificent, you just keep on bumming. I do what I gotta do, you just do what you can. Stop hating and waiting, debating, get up off your ass.
What up to my Grammy family? It's Grams Jacket checking in, and I'm back with another banger. What it do, what it is, what it ain't, y'all. Y'all, this video is gonna be a little bit of a more serious video. I know y'all wait for me to come with some jokes, come with some different content. I know a lot of y'all, I won't say a lot, but there's a handful of people that have been commenting like exhausted, talking about why we still on the topic, talk about something else, why you talking about your past, why you talking about your relationship. And I know I told you guys at the beginning of June that this chapter of my life that I'm in, this phase of my life that I'm in, is called selfish, where I'm working on self love, I'm working on me, I'm being authentic, unapologetic, just truly myself. I'm walking in just true self, in my truth, right? And I know sometimes another person's truth can be hard to watch because it might be something that you don't totally agree with, or something that you feel isn't truth, right? So if at any point of this video where my truth becomes too much or too is unbearable to watch or just unbelievable to you, I am completely fine with, clicking that X in the corner. No hate will be tolerated in my comment section. Yes, I'm one of them type of people that will delete a hateful comment. I haven't been getting too much hate though. Ever since I've been in this chapter of my life I just told you guys about. But a lot of people have been wondering why I've been talking about it lately. And I feel like I want to show up as the person I am on this camera and off this camera. And the person that I truly am off this camera is a regular human being like the rest. Yes, I am a regular person that have emotions. I'm a regular person that feels. I'm a regular person that deals. And I feel like I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells because I'm scared of what my truth may do to somebody else. And I know there's a lot of people out there. I know I'm not alone in this world. I know people have been in situations that I've been in. And I like to share my story, my truth, my perspective. I'm showing up as whoever I need to show up as, where people have thanked me for just speaking up for myself, because this is all they wanted for me, was to speak up for myself for over the last 2.5 years. So I'm in a space, I'm in a place mentally where I can speak on it and not feel bad, because there was a time where I felt like if I talk about it, it was going to shame somebody else and make the other person look bad. And of course, I've already came out and been apologetic and spoke about the things that I've done to others publicly and behind the scenes, right? But I feel like I'm at this point in my life where I'm done taking responsibility for other people's actions. So that's my bad, y'all. I had to throw my hair in a ponytail. This is about to be a tough little topic to talk about. Plus the train track coming. I didn't know if you guys was gonna hear that or not, if it was gonna get in the way, so I had to wait till that shit passed by. But y'all, excuse me if it seems like I'm a little bit like trying to grab stuff out the air, because this whole topic I haven't explained it in its full entirety in a while. Like in a while. So I'll be trying to remember details for you guys. I know you guys like to end up with a lot of questions. Well, I try to explain everything in a way where I don't leave anything unanswered. So, and then I feel like when you experience like some type of trauma or something that was deep to you, it creates certain blockages in certain areas when you try to forget certain things that happened to you. And that's part of the reason too. Like a lot of the stuff I just wanted to forget, but it was hard to forget. So, yeah. So, boom. This picture here from May the 10th, 2021 led to this picture right here. I got my head bust. I had, I think, 4 or 5 staples in my head. The doctor said that the cut was so deep that stitches wouldn't have closed it properly, that they had to staple it closed. I was hit in the head with a metal saucer candle holder that was thrown at my head, and it split it open. So I'm going to explain how things led up to that, starting with this picture. Now, in this picture, guys, I am wearing 2 chains. One says Avery's Closet and one says Grams. Me personally, I put the chains on for the picture and I didn't take them off for a couple of days. I just liked how the chains looked together in the picture because I was standing in the street and I wanted to look like a street nigga at the time, you know. But keep in mind that on that date is May the 10th. For those of you who are new to the channel, I was in a very public relationship. I made a video last year explaining how I broke up with my ex-fiance on the first week of January, soon after New Year's began. It wasn't a decision that was made just randomly. We were going through a lot. You know, I'm not going to sit here and make it look like everything is her fault, and I'm not going to sit here and take the blame like everything was my fault. Everybody's human in a relationship. People make mistakes. We've made mistakes. But another thing in a relationship, what's important is the way we forgive one another, and if we want to be with each other, the way we move on and move past our mistakes. A lot was going on in that relationship where new situations would arise, and the reason behind would be because you've done this to me in the past. And I kind of got tired of my past mistakes being the reason for things being done to me in our current future. So I began asking for therapy pretty much all of 2019. And that request was going ignored. So it led to me, and it led to more situations on top of more situations and more situations where it was like, I did not want to spend another year fighting. I wanted to I want to love. I'm a lover. Like, I love to love. But I don't like to fight. I don't like to argue. I'll fight for love if I feel the fight is worth it. But when I feel like it's not worth my sanity, then it's time to walk away, right? So, beginning of January, we was into some situations, more situations, and I called it off. But we had so much tied to each other, car, cribs, all of that. We had a lot tied to each other, and we still had brands and businesses to run. We still had a whole fan base. We still had YouTube to run, where we were going through things off the internet, but when we would vlog, we would pretty much still call each other fiance. This is still, you know, we didn't go to the internet, but we were battling a lot. Things got worse. April 28th, it was the night of my fashion show. That's when I decided that I wanted to just move out. I said, forget everything. We got into a situation where I was like, I felt like it was my time to shine. It was my first time having a fashion show. That day was all about me, and I felt like all the energy shifted off of me and me celebrating my moment into something that really was pointless at that time compared to me being excited about the fashion show and doing something that I always wanted to do, right? So we ended up getting into a situation where I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm over this. I'm done. This is like, what? We're going through the same thing over and over every year. Every other year is a new situation where we're not working through our problems, our triggers together. It felt so one-sided. So I was like, I'm done fighting for something that's one-sided. You don't want to get therapy? I'm done. I'm done pretending for the internet. I'm done. I left to Atlanta. I left a lot of clothes and shoes, but I took most of what I could take. Like, that night I was packing up bags. I had a suitcase. I grabbed everything I could fit in my Camaro, And y'all know, if you ever been in a Camaro, you know the back seat's small, the trunk is small as shit. So I couldn't take much. So I left a lot behind, but I took what I could. Like I took everything that had to do with my business supplies. Like I took my heat presser, things like that. I ended up putting everything at my best friend's house, but I was staying at that time, it was a friend of mine. She was my friend at that time. A couple weeks go by, some of my inventory got mailed to their house in Chattanooga, and I needed it. It was inventory that needed to be shipped off immediately. So I emailed my ex fiance and was like, "Hey, there's some inventory that just got delivered. Can you leave it in the garage or can you leave it on the front porch?" Me personally, I know for a fact asking her to take it anywhere or to mail it to me would have been asking too much at that time. Trust me, I know. I've been with this person for years, so don't give me no shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You know what I'm saying? I know who I've been sleeping with. So asking for her to mail it to me wasn't an option. It was either I need to come get it. So I asked her if she could put it in the garage or on the front porch, and I'll come slide and get it on a specific day when I got in town, which that day was May the 13th. I was like, I should be in town. I emailed her like a week in advance, like I should be in town around 4 p.m. Everybody know the traffic in Atlanta crazy as hell. I don't know why I said 4 p.m. because you ever been to Atlanta, people drive crazy. There's always some type of situation on the highway. So I ended up getting to town a little bit after 4. And I rode in town with my boo at the time, and she was with me. So I went ahead and dropped her off at my homegirl's house, and I called my ex fiance and was like, "Hey, I'm about to be on my way." She proceeds to be like, "Why are you just now getting here? Why I was gone trying not to be home when you got here." And I'm like, "That's cool. Like you could just leave it on the front porch or leave it in the garage." So when I got there, it wasn't in neither places. I realized I've been wearing the Avery's Closet chain for a couple of days. I never took it off. But when I get there, I realized that I had it on. Because when I noticed that the gifts wasn't on the porch, this ain't finna be no just pick up and get back in the car. Like I said, I know this person that I've spent years with. I know this person like the back of my hand. I was like, let me take this chain off because I know she gonna either try to snatch it off me trying to fight. If she see it, let me stash it. So I took the chain off and I put it in my door. So I goes to the door. I'm like, I ring doorbell. She comes to the door and I see she didn't have the inventory that I asked her to leave outside. I was like, where's it at? She's like, it's over there. So she sits back down. She eating Chinese food or whatever. She seemed calm. So I was like, you good? Like, how you doing? Like, just trying to be nice as I enter the house. She's like, I'm straight. She's like, where your chain at? I was like, what you talking about? She's like, yeah, where your chain that you've been wearing? So that let me know she been watching my page. So I'm like, oh shit. I was like, I ain't got no chain on. I don't know what you're talking about. So I start walking out and I notice she hopped up and she starts going for something. And I turn around and all I see is something come flying at my head. I turn around real quick because if I would have kept facing her, it would have hit me in my face. So I turn around real quick to duck. But by the time I duck, I feel something like just like ding in the back of my head. And I kind of like leant down for a second and I felt so much blood just running down the back of my head. And I touched my hand and I felt the blood or whatever. Kind of blacked out for a second. Kind of forgot where I was at. But she was standing over me when I realized where I was at. And she was like, you keep fucking playing with me. I told you about playing with me. So she's standing over me. Now I know she sees this blood just rushing down my head. And I know she sees that big ass gash behind my head. Because I can't see it, but I feel it. So all I could do is just look at the blood. And I look at her. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you a bird. I was like, you a bird for this. I was like, you good? I was like, you ain't got to worry about me no more. Swear to God, you ain't got to worry about me. She over me, like she was expecting me to square up, so she's squaring up with me. I grab the inventory, pick up the box, and I just start walking out. As I'm walking out, she comes out and she kicks my car door. She's kicking it while I'm getting in, like kicking the door in, talking shit, and I couldn't pay attention, so I just start reversing out the parking space, and I'm just riding. So I call my homegirl. Well, I called my boo thing first. I'm like, yo, she bashed my head in. They was like, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. It's like, I swear to God, she bashed my head in. So I get there, and I'm like, man, come on, let's just go back to Atlanta. Like, I'm done. She ain't got to worry about hearing from me ever again. I'm done. Let's go back to Atlanta. They was like, nah, you can't just get back on the highway. This shit is running. Like, my shirt was soaked. They had to dip my head in the sink and hold it over some water and put pressure on my scalp just to stop it from bleeding. Like, it was running so bad. And picture, as you can see around my neck, I didn't have a necklace on. I took that necklace off. And I actually took pictures before I even went to the crib. I went over there because I had just got my hair done and just got a shape up. So as you can see, I had the chain on. I wasn't pressed about wearing it, but I was pressed about making sure I took it off because, like I said, I know who I'm dealing with. I know the type of female that I I was dealing with, my ex. My boo at the time took me to the hospital. Me and my boo sitting in there, and the doctors is like, what's going on? What happened? How did this happen? And I'm not a good liar. I'm not gonna flex. I was trying my best not to say anything. I didn't know. I couldn't think of a quick lie. Just like I got into a fight. I didn't want to press charges. I wanted them to say something to her. So the cop was like, well, if I say something to her, we're gonna have to go pick her up. He's like, but if I call her right now and she tell me that you put hands on her, we're gonna have to take you in. So I'm like, oh my God, he already against me. So he was basically catching an attitude with me, like I was the one that was beating on her. I'm like, officer, I came straight to the hospital. I didn't have time to fight back. Once I felt my head busted, I didn't even want to fight back, officer. He's like, so if I call her, he's like, I want her name and her number. And if I call her and she tells me you put your hands on her, we got to take you to jail. I was like, oh my God, ain't no telling what this girl gonna lie and say. So he steps out the room, and it takes a little minute for them to come back in. He steps out. So the doctors come in and they telling me that they got to staple my head closed. I'm mad as hell because I got to get my head stapled. I just got done arguing with this cop. I was like, you know what, man, I ain't know what to feel. There was so much going on at that time. And I just felt wrong. I don't know why I felt like I was the person that was wrong. Like I felt like I did something wrong. And I don't know, I don't know. I felt like I was supposed to take some type of accountability for my head being busted open. And it just was weird. I'm like, no, nobody, I'm telling myself nobody deserves this. And I'm over here arguing with the cop. The nurses was nice as shit. So the nurses came back and they stapled my head up. And then it was just got weird from that point forward after I got into it with the cops. So I just told my new boo at the time, I was like, yo, let's go. I didn't even wait for them to discharge me. They was talking about going to arrest my ex-fiance. I guess this is just a rule of the streets. Don't be on no police shit. I wasn't trying to be on no police shit. It just would have felt awkward just knowing she was in jail. But did she deserve it? Because like I had so much going through my mind. Like, did I deserve it, or do she deserve to get in trouble, or like what is going on? I didn't know what to feel. The situation, it was just too much for me. So I kind of like kept it to myself, and I don't know. I just feel like the whole situation just sucks, y'all. And honestly and truly, I think what sucks the most is trying to look at it from a different standpoint and trying to put yourself in that person's shoes and realizing that for one, once she realized that the blood was coming out my head, she kept going. If it was me, it wouldn't have led to me following you out, trying to fight you and kicking your car door and basically, you know, trying to provoke you to fight them. It wouldn't have led to that. As soon as I saw that blood, I would have been like, yo, I would have snapped out of it because this is a person that I love. And if I don't love them no more, like I've once loved them, and the way my heart's set up and the way my love runs, how deep it runs, is like, yo, I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't be able to look at you hurting or bleeding like that without feeling some type of sadness. I would have, in that moment, I would have, picked me up and hugged me. Like, I ain't mean to do that. Yo, oh my God, I snapped out. Yo, I apologize. Can you forgive me? I would have been begging for forgiveness, even whether I felt like she deserved it or not. I would have been like, nah, I don't want that blood on my hands. It's just when you put yourself in that situation, it just sucks. And I didn't receive no phone call, no, I'm sorry, none of that. And we visit the conversation months later, and it was, I'm sorry I made you bleed, but what you expect? And when a person can apologize to you, but still turn around in the same breath within that same sentence, try to justify why it still needed to happen, then they're not sorry. So, I don't know. Different parts of me have grown colder in the past 2.5 years. And I won't even say it's a bad thing. I say it's a good thing, because having a big heart and a forgiving heart could be a gift and a curse. So I may be able to forgive you for things that you would never forgive me for. Whether you did something to me intentional or unintentional, I know how to forgive for my sanity. And I'm not, I don't condone DV, y'all. I don't, not at all. And if I didn't learn anything else within the last 2 years, I did learn that I will not tolerate nobody putting their hands on me. I will not. I will not. And it took a lot of situations for me to realize that I don't deserve to be with anybody that feels like they need to put their hands on me. And I feel like because we are more masculine presenting women, people don't look at it like it's it's abuse. Well, it is. It is. And I don't know. I feel like if you ever have to put your hands on somebody to get your point across, you're already losing, because just leave them alone. I feel like these days people are so caught up in trying to change people instead of letting people be their true selves. The quicker you allow a person to be them true selves, the quicker you have the opportunity to make a decision as if this is what you want for yourself. For example, if I'm with somebody who out here in these streets making money, the quicker you tell me about the lifestyle that you live, the quicker I get to make a decision on if this is something that I want to accept. But me sticking around trying to change you, and I know this is already something that you want to do and you made that decision and you not changing your mind, I would be wasting my time and running myself raggedy and putting myself in crazy ass situations and through so much for no reason for a person that's not going to change. So I feel like a lot of the times we sit and stick in situations that don't serve us, or we stay in situations that no longer serve us. And a lot of the times we do that because we're scared of what the outside may think. And I'm not going to lie, for a long time I felt like that. I was stuck in situations, and I'm not even just talking about my previous relationship. I'm talking about just I've been stayed on jobs, I've stayed in friendships, and we just put ourselves in these crazy situations, and we stay in crazy situations knowing the outcome is not going to be good, and we're scared of what others would think of us. So I just hope that nobody thinks I condone. I don't condone fighting your mate. I don't. Male or female, female on female, male on male, cat on cat. I don't even like watching dog fights, y'all. For real. I don't even like watching people fight for real. The only time I like seeing somebody fight is if somebody being bullied and then the person that's being bullied just hauls off and pop their ass real quick. That's refreshing to see. Get your lick back. That. But other than just being in a relationship with somebody who repeatedly gets mad and angry and feel like they need to hit you when they get mad because that's the only way they can feel better or blow steam. Nah, I don't condone it. But I need everybody to thumbs this video up. If you want a story time about, what happened on the night of my fashion show, because that's another story within itself. Another bloody situation. If y'all want another story time, let me know. Comment down below. Love y'all. Gotta go.
Minute you at the top, then it's gone in a flash. If I can't do shit else in life, bet I secure the bag. See, you lost it all, that's why they call you trash. Don't even know why you started me, now I'm on your ass. Oh my god, yo, Puma drip hard, she gon' suck me for a long time. Oh my god, she be like, oh my god, yo, Puma drip hard, she gon' suck me for a long time. Oh my god.
Got Puma drip on me. My hair not long, do no running. Got slant, take care of my lungs. Rockin' all white AF1s. On my head with these niggas, no laundry. Niggas quit can't job, but I'm dominant. Had a bitch come back, they're astonished. And I move real quick, supersonic. Ballin' out Isaiah Thomas. Give me mouth, no orthodontist. The street and she poke her honeys. These diamonds, they shine like polish. All status, I ain't even finish college. Got a retro, it seem like country. Came from nothing, turn into something. Got too many racks in my pants.